welcome back to Enterprise Vibe Code. All right. Sorry I was off for this last week. Was busy, had stuff to do, had to get some things done. So let's see, let's get this doc here. Okay, cool, got the chat in there. Yeah, so I don't know. I just figured I would show you guys my what I do weekly to kind of collect my thoughts together. So I actually, this is one thing that I was working on is this Twitter clone app. This is what I did off stream. Used .NET to create it, and it only works locally, but it was pretty interesting, like proof of concept that I don't know anything about .NET framework, and I was able to create, like, this has authentication. I don't know if it works anymore. Like, it worked for a second. Okay, yeah, it might not be up. Anyways, it was, I don't know. It was an interesting proof of concept. So, anyways, actually, let me, one sec. There. Okay, cool. Oops. Okay. This is some stuff I was doing with Gas Town. Cool. But anyways, I'm just gonna, I don't know, just write my newsletter on stream. I guess if I can write code on stream, I can write my newsletter on stream. I know it's not as interesting as code, but I don't know. I think going on stream and talking helps me think through these things and kind of crystallize these things. And I don't know, forcing myself to write. Like, okay, so like talking like makes me work out the ideas, and then kind of writing forces me to crystallize them and kind of get them down to their most essential like elements. So anyways, I need to get my music going so you guys get like entranced or something. Cool. Let me figure out this. Okay. Morning, SN Bart. What's up, CJ? IP. Actually, yeah, I need to put up the poll. Because let's see. Just vibing, yep. Aren't we all? Aren't we all just vibing? That's kind of the argument that I make in this newsletter. I haven't posted it yet, but basically, if you have a manager, they're the original vibe coder. Still got 50% of my users to burn in the next 2 hours. I don't think I could do it. Didn't feel very productive. Yeah. No, I'm planning on using some of my usage later. Like, I want to get my newsletter done first, but I actually did a decent amount this week. The decent for me. Like I got 35%. I was kind of busy with other things, but I think I can, yeah, get it going, because I want to try some new things with roxas. I kind of have the overall framework, or like the overall structure down now. But I want to, yeah, add way more tests. Like I have this idea of like, all right, I want 80% test coverage on unit integration and UI tests, like 80% across the board, not just 80% in total, but I want to try to hit 80% like in all these different verticals of tests. So I think having a ridiculous amount of tests may help guide the agent better, potentially. I don't know. This is just the theory that I have. I want to try it out. And then in that kind of twitter.net case, I did, whatchamacallit, it used a local stack, like a local AWS stack. So instead of like actually deploying AWS, I was unaware that this framework existed of a local AWS stack that kind of emulates how it deploys. So I don't know. Maybe I want to try to do that with this as well. Gonna get Claudebot to switch to Gas Town today once it finishes the sprint it's doing. It created its own thing based on Gas Town, but it's not doing as well. Gotcha. Yeah, there's always... I completely missed the Claudebot thing. I don't know. Like, I guess that's my deal of like, I feel like we should just focus on one thing. I've got a prox mox cluster. I run K3s and deploy everything there via Helm chart. Each project gets on Helm chart. Nice. Yeah, this is like, we're in a new era of home lab. So, but anyways, yeah. Spun up an infrastructure project, gave my AWS credentials, AWS CLI, so cloud can now manage my AWS. You for Route 53 config to get traffic in my home. Nice. Yeah, no, that's I give it access to my AWS CLI to debug, but I define everything in Terraform. So I have feelings about this. Like, we shouldn't probably have it define everything. Like, we should still probably follow infrastructure as code. But it's definitely super helpful to have the agent look at the live infrastructure and debug it. I got Proxmox cluster with LXC running deploy, Nextpacks toml to deploy. I have no idea what these words are. Proxmox. Virtual environment. Yeah, same here. I got Open Tofu running Ansible. Oh, okay, cool, nice. Deploy. Open source alternative Vercel. Okay. Yeah, Heroku. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, I have my sound on. Sorry. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button. Really helps spread the video more. Proxmox is a VM orchestration tool. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Cool. And then doesn't do templates for LXC. LXC container. Proxmox. Linux containers. Linux container. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Proxmox hypervisor for your paid LXC. Linux native containers, everything, Docker on the hood, no overlay. Okay, gotcha. But LXC are safer than Docker because they fork instead of having a daemon, more like podman. Okay, gotcha. If I was resource constrained, if I have some enterprise servers, 600 cores. Oh, dang. That's a hell of a home lab, CJ. Look at you. Found a smoking deal on 6R730 decom boxes. Okay, nice. Yeah, I wonder if that's going to be the at some point when they like jack up, because we can't get this many tokens for this cheap forever, right? From OpenAI and Claude. I wonder at some point it's going to make more sense to run your own local LLMs and like in that kind of scaled up way, or if some people are gonna have like, I don't know, discount servers or something, like, I don't know, where it's going to be, I don't know. I'm running Commodore 64. There you go, Frank Schwartz free. That's the way to do it. Yeah, I wonder if running your own kind of inference is going to be, rolling your own inference is going to be a thing soon. Or like, I know it's a thing already, but like at some point it's going to make more, it's going to actually make sense to run it. It's terrible. All right, whatever. But that, okay. Basically I'm just gonna be writing, guys. I need a, it's almost like this newsletter is kind of like a weekly homework assignment for me. It's almost like I gotta crystallize my thoughts and like get it down pen to paper, and it's I don't know, it's almost like college. It's almost like a class that I'm doing. I don't know, do you guys have, I maybe with these home lab things, like you have you're kind of making up your own work, your own assignments to yourself. Home lab, old PC 3070 Ti, 32 gigs RAM, 4 terabyte hard disk, 1 terabyte SSD. Hardware is going to continue to go up in price. Get GPUs and memory now. The future will be these open weight models on your own hardware. GPUs are what I'm missing. Impossible to find enough GPUs at a reasonable price. Mostly use it for image. I don't know what image is. Backup, organize. Oh, okay. Photos. Interesting. Everyone self-hosted photo storage. Okay, gotcha. Image. Oh, image. I get it now. I get it now. Hosting game servers with friends and AR stack. What is AR? You guys are just. This is all like home lab nerd stuff that I'm not aware of. Like thank you for enlightening me on. I don't know. I just have a MacBook Pro. Like that is the extent of my home lab. And oh, 1 second. I have a stack of Raspberry Pis that I never hooked up. This is my home. This is my home lab. I should have done something with these. I still can, but could run like K3s or something. But that's images, Google Photos, but open source. Gotcha. Cool. You have the same cluster case? Oh, nice. Yeah. Low-key is a good way to do clusters. Oh wow, I've got some like cobwebs on these guys. I need to do something with these. Like I haven't done anything. I've had it for years, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. Did you see Network Chuck unboxing $50,000 of 4 Mac Studios to play with? No, I didn't. I haven't. That sounds pretty ridiculous though. 4 Mac Studios. And then does he upgrade the graphics, the GPUs? Could be a good stream idea, not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure with I got those pre LLM, so I'm sure like if I point Claude at those and be like, hey, set these things up, and it could be done really quick. So it might be interesting. They were maxed out units from Apple. Gotcha. 50K would buy a lot of cloud accounts, right? At some point, this, the price is gonna. I think it's a much higher usage than what I'm doing, at least. I'm sure Jeffrey Emanuel is probably doing that math of, all right, how many, like I'm sure he's at 30 cloud accounts now, but like he's at whatever, a week ago he's at 22. So I'm sure he's like doing some kind of math of like, all right, what's the rent versus buy kind of calculus there. All right, guys, hit the like button. Would really help out the channel while you're here. I appreciate everyone jumping in the chat. Let's see. Have you used Gas Town? 5 votes. 20% say yes, they've used Gas Town. 80% say no. Interesting. I can't keep all my agents. Where's the FinOps? Where's the FinOps team at? Shake my head, right? Yeah. I can't keep all my agents working full time. I'm still manually prompting. That's why I'm on your channel. Next phase is to get Beats Gas Town working. Okay, cool. Nice. Sweet. Yeah. I'm interacting with you guys right now, but I want to get this newsletter done. I'm almost done with it. I'm at like 2,000 words. And then I'll play around with Gas Town. I have certain ideas that I want to implement with more testing. Like now that I have kind of a decent prototype running, I want to add tests to get to 80% coverage across all. Beads Gas Town. Okay, well, you might be new to the channel, so welcome. Beads is a framework, like an agent issue tracking framework from Steve Yegi. Steve Yegi wrote this book, Vibe Coding, with Gene Kim. Gene Kim also wrote kind of the Phoenix project. And he also wrote some like the Dora metrics framework with these people. New to this, bro. What can I ask? What's Gas Town? So Beads. So Steve Yegi is like the patron saint of this channel, and I follow his stuff. There's a handful of like agent orchestrator guys that I follow, but Steve Yegi's kind of like the main one. Beads is this agent issue tracker, and then Gas Town is kind of an agent orchestrator built on top of these Beads agent issue trackers. So like the idea is that we spin up a bunch of individual Claude instances, and we control them with one Claude instance. So the mayor is kind of like this top level coordinator, and then it spins up a bunch of other ephemeral workers called polecats to kind of hash out work. Sorry, one second, let me cough. So it's kind of like Kubernetes, where you have some workers, and then you kind of spin them out. There's like a control plane, so you like kind of create a bunch of work, and then you deal out that work to different worker nodes. Does that make sense? And all the worker nodes are Claudes, like full instances of Claudes. This is interesting that it's got like kind of better readmes here. Cool. All right. Now that we got those out of the way, basically the idea, like, I'm writing this article this week about how to learn vibe coding. Basically do it. Like TLDR, just do it. But what people mistake learning for gathering knowledge about versus knowledge of. And people think, oh, I need to read more books. I need to gather more information rather than doing the thing. And I know it's uncomfortable to do the thing because you feel dumb, right? And like if you like, it's gonna feel, sorry, I need a coffee again. It's gonna feel uncomfortable. It's gonna feel weird to like do the thing and learn. But that's the only way you learn, right? The only way you actually learn doing the thing is to do the thing, right? You can learn more about doing the thing, and you get presented, but that knowledge only gets used if you understand where it goes. So think about driving a car, and you can know all the things about driving a car. You can like read the driver manual. You can read about all the traffic laws. You can read all these different things. Should try using deploy. It's so easy to deploy stuff. It's generally crazy. Gotcha. Interesting. I'll whatchamacallit, deploy. Free self-hostable. Okay, so you host it on your own hardware, or your own AWS account or something. Okay, yeah. Cloud introduction, servers, VPS. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I've got a Discord channel. So I'll post all these links in the Discord channel, but let's see. You can get access to the Discord channel for the price of an email. If there are a bunch of cool people in there, a lot of people are watching right now. But if you, are interested in talking about this stuff, we have a Discord channel. Own hardware or VPS or EC2 instance. Gotcha. Cool. But yeah, I am trying to connect this with like learning, and how I view learning everything is just a matter of forcing yourself to do the thing, or like doing more of the thing. And how I've like, I don't know, like I wear Cal Poly stuff, my alma mater. They have their slogan, their motto is learn by doing. Like I've known this for, I don't know, 13 years or 15 years, or however long what am I, 34? And then started college at 8, what was 34 minus 18? 16 years. 16 years I've known this. But I'm still like, kind of, I don't know, still just doing the thing. Or like, I'm still like getting used to it. Or still finding ways to like apply it more. So, anyways, hit the like button, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Hit the Discord link, and yeah, I'm just gonna be writing this because I need to get it done, and then I'll do some interesting stuff. Why does installing Playwright take a year? I don't know. What kind of internet connection are you on? I guess maybe I'm spoiled. I have a gigabit. Plus, it's like JavaScript, right? So it's like, I don't know, not like binaries or anything. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I don't know what the, I don't know how these things work. College internet, it's ass. Okay, gotcha. Yep. Well, you would think college, I guess, depends your college. Like, colleges should have like some better internet, right? If a gigabit at home, college has trash internet in the dorms. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I would expect like the library or something like that to have better internet, maybe. But I don't, or at least like the entire campus. I don't know. I guess they can like meter it on different for different parts of the network, I guess. That's across campus except the library and classes. Gotcha. Hi, Site Sinar? Site Sinar? Am I saying it right? How's it going? Doing well. I'm just trying to like do this homework assignment to myself. I've got a weekly newsletter and I need to put it out. It's about vibe coding and just this one is just about how we learn to vibe code. Yep, yeah, we're just chilling right now. I'll do some real stuff later. I do have a LinkedIn. you can find me I think I have my LinkedIn on here. Yeah. But yeah, you can find me on all the socials. This guy. Join the Discord. Awesome. Thanks, Saint Sonar. Yeah, a lot of people, I'll drop some links in there. A lot of people talked about some home lab stuff earlier. LinkedIn premium links are almost expiring. Orders. Yeah, just drop it in the Discord. I'm sure somebody would be interested. Thanks, Saint Sonar. Sweet. Yeah, really appreciate it. I know it's hard times out there with all these layoffs and stuff, so I'm sure somebody would be able to use it. Yeah, that's why you got a bunch of them. Cool. Do you work for LinkedIn or something? How did you get them then? How did you get all these? Like, now I'm curious. Now you got me thinking, like, are these legit? Or it feels like these are cracked CD keys or something that you're sharing with us. You have your own shop. Oh, cool. Nice. You got ChatGPT, LinkedIn. Okay. Promotion with Adobe they had. Oh, okay. Cool. Got Reddit to etc. for marketing. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, I think that's a big thing that I talk about on this channel is like we have to not only vibe code, like everyone can make anything. Like just make that assumption that anybody can code up anything now. We need to like increase our distribution. We need to that's why I'm writing this newsletter. It's like I am increasing my distribution. I'm consolidating all my thoughts, like crystallizing them, and then I put it out and I talk about what I'm doing to the world. So I feel like that's the new, I don't know, the new meta. It's like we need to come out of our shells a little bit. Like anybody can do, like just assume that anybody has done your app idea at least once or twice, and that's happened to me. Like I thought I had a sneaky app idea or whatever. Somebody's done it already. But the thing is, we need to get distribution and like network with people, and people are gonna buy from people that they know, or at least that they're familiar with. It's not a field of dreams scenario where if you build it, they will come. It's like, no, like you can build the app. It could be the best app, but if nobody knows about it, then it's not really worth anything, right? Like you can spend all your time building and not really market, and then you need to then spend all your time marketing once you build it, right? So the ideal thing is like, we market as we build. So cool. Yeah, glad you're kind of the same mindset. I mean, of course you've got your own shop, so like you're aware of how business works. So I think most developers need to like develop that business sense too. Cool. If you're watching, please like and subscribe. Sorry, I'm trying to... Yeah, hit the like button. There's 15 people now, 7 likes. Hit the thumbs up. I know I'm not interacting with the chat too much. I need to focus on on getting this article out, but would really appreciate support for the channel if you just like hanging out here. Really appreciate you being here. It's kind of like a... call it? Kind of like study the whatever chill lo-fi girl music, right? Kind of aesthetic, right? Yeah, maybe. There we go. A little cat in the background. Cool. I like that. That's nice. Anybody know lo-fi music, like free streaming lo-fi music? Lo-fi music for streaming. So I feel like it's very, very aesthetic. Like it's not just lo-fi girl. It's like, yeah, this is like very lo-fi girl. Like, look. That's awesome. Like, look at this. Virtually identical. This is hilarious. Hashtag aesthetics. You know what tool a lot of vibe coders use, and it's high demand right now? I would just say, like, learn Claude code. I think that's kind of the standard tool, and it's can be used for a variety of purposes. Like, yeah, it basically can be used for anything. So I would use, if you can, learn Claude. That's what I recommend with, I don't know, stick with one tool and learn it. If Claude's too expensive, use open code or something like that. Like, learn one tool and then figure it out, or like adjust over time. Like, really study how one tool works, and then really develop the skill with that one tool. How much would you pay for a max plan of Claude? Would you, if I can get for $75, for example, or sell? I pay for the $200 version, so I don't know. It all depends. Like, you can ramp up your usage kind of over time. You'll probably tap out of the $20 a month one pretty quickly if you use it for any amount of time, basically. Then you ramp up to like the $100 a month one. So yeah, I would say just give a developer who's semi-serious about this stuff, like, you probably need the $100 a month one. If not, like, versus like open code or cursor or whatever one you get, like, just really focus on one, really main one in video gamer terms. I can sell the $200 a month subscription for $165. Oh, do you have some kind of inside deal or something? Some kind of, oh, okay, gotcha, interesting. More power to you then, man. Again, like with all this stuff, it's about distribution. It's not just about can you make the thing. I can't explain the sauce too much. Yeah, no, I get it. I get. Yeah, if I can help with marketing, we can work on that. Okay, sure. Yeah, DM me in the Discord. We can chat. I'm just trying to get the most. It's hilarious. I didn't even like intend to make this like whatchamacallit, lo-fi girl esque, but I guess I am. I guess this is how this is working. New York. Oh no, I'm in Las Vegas. So this is just a neighborhood. It's not a, like, this is just kind of boring. But I guess you can't, like, with the shadows or whatever, you can't really tell, or it's harder to tell. Those are just houses across the street. But yeah, I'm on the third floor, like, when there's 3-story houses, so it's it's a nice view. Yeah, no, it's I'm definitely Definitely very lucky. What's my opinion on Sonnet 5 with 1 million context window coming out next week? I mean, we'll see. Maybe more context the better. Maybe. but at the same time, like context also gives us focus. Like, so I guess what I'm writing about here, how I'm connecting it to how humans focus on things, is that we only have limited context windows, right? Like I have, you've probably seen this comic before where like you build up this like all this literal context in your head of whatever programming problem you're working on, and then somebody like distracts you like you're doing. not saying you're distracting me from my writing or whatever, but like for example, I just lost my train of thought with writing, and then now when I go back to that writing, I'm like, all right, what happened again? Like I have to, like I cleared my context and now I'm focused on talking to you about this thing, right? So it's almost like, is a bigger context window gonna help or hinder? Like, do we really want a large working memory? Sort of like cache, like CPUs. Are you familiar with CPU architecture? Like how there's like different levels of cache, and like the chips that are physically closer to like where the processor like whatever goes through the instructions, right? Like there's only a limited amount of like on processor memory, and that's intentional because there's only like so much physical space that you can like connect all these things together. So, and you only want a limited amount of space that's super fast, right? Oh no. Okay, I think I'm back. Okay, it was giving me a weird message there. So like with CPU caching, like you only get, I don't know, maybe a couple megabytes. CPU cache memory. Yeah, small ultra fast memory built into or near the processor. So there's different levels. How much L1 cache? L1 cache, smallest, most critical, 16 kilobytes to 128 kilobytes. So, like that's for these processors, the speed is kind of inversely proportional to the amount of cache, right? So I wonder if the performance is going to be, they're going to have to balance how much context is effective for it to search through all of its context. What are the trade-offs of like, all right, we can remember more stuff versus how effectively can we remember and search through all this context? Does that make sense? Tan Thean 6816. So I think it's basically like it's gonna have probably the same trade-offs as L1 cache. But yeah, thanks for asking about that. I think why we haven't just seen whatever context go burr, is that there's probably some fundamental trade-off that that increasing the size is very hard, like probably super expensive to increase the context size, but also there's going to be some like performance trade-off that they're going to have to whatever account for. All right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna hit the restroom. Enjoy this view with my cat. Rearranging my desk a little bit here because I didn't realize I had a lo-fi girl aesthetic going on until like 30 minutes ago, so just kind of see how we can like maximize this. Okay, cool. Cool. Sweet. All right. I think that works better. Okay. that's what I was doing. Hey, what's up, Tane? VW? Doing well. Just writing my weekly newsletter. Haven't used Gas Town 2 weeks. Anything changed? I just saw in the Gas Town Discord channel that Yegi's been working on it this week and trying to do like a database migration to like Dolt DB. And he's doing it on main and just kind of broken it for most people. So yeah, I haven't updated this week. I'm just kind of, I used it a little bit for a project and which worked out pretty well. I made a .NET kind of a Twitter clone, just kind of as a proof of concept of like, hey, yeah, I don't know anything about .NET and I don't know anything about C#. Yeah, I didn't know anything about, say, this kind of arbitrary stack. And I was like, all right, make a Twitter clone. And it did. So now I'm kind of like connecting this. So that was earlier this week when I didn't do that on stream. I was doing that kind of as a, I don't know, back burner type of thing. But yeah, I'm just writing my newsletter for this week right now. Kind of connecting the dots between how I see coaching jiu-jitsu with so like how we learn to move. This book kind of introduces the constraints-led approach and is kind of foundational to how I learn. That like it's not even I think they could have titled this as how we learn. We don't need, it's like how we learn to move. Like it's constrained to just like how people learn sports and whatnot. But like how we learn to move is the book talks about the constraints-led approach and how we learn best, not just by thinking about things, but by like engaging with the thing itself, by doing the thing itself. And kind of how I'm framing vibe coding is like, vibe coding is this just at a higher level. It's just like, all right, we're trying to constrain the agent to do things. And it's basically the same thing as like what this describes, playing small-sided games and kind of defining boundaries, like multi-dimensional constraints around, like we call them guardrails in agent land, but they're constraints. They're multi-dimensional guardrails around behavior to guide it towards the type of solution space that we're looking for. So anyways, that's what I got going on today. I got to drop in an hour, or maybe like 50 minutes or so. I heard there was research that stated thinking about something to improve your skill is better than not thinking about it at all. Of course, practice is best. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, that's definitely. I mean, it's sounds complicated. Yeah, I mean, but telling a thing to do a thing, right? We have to be very. We'll read it when you've published. Cool. Sweet. Thanks, Tane. But yeah, I'm trying to connect these two ideas of like, this is why I'm so like down or why I'm so high conviction on vibe coding. Constraints-led approach. Yes, they've tried it on basketball. They've tried it on, all the major sports like kind of play this way. They train in this constraints-led approach. And kind of, we most recently went through this in Jiu-Jitsu land, which is kind of like my realm of expertise. And like I adopted this starting like 3 years ago, and now that I'm seeing it in like computer science and programming. I'm like, all right, I've seen this show before. I've seen this movie before. Let me like jump on this. So that's, I'm just kind of explaining why I'm high conviction on this, and kind of how we can use these ideas to kind of help us develop code with agents. So if that, yeah, hopefully I can like, hopefully this like, I can explain it better in writing. But it's kind of like we're delegating to these agents. It's as if we're like managers, and we can't like explicitly tell them what to do step by step, because then we're doing it ourselves, right? We're writing the code ourselves. Like if we don't let go, we have to kind of like, people want to drive the car themselves, right? They want to like white knuckle driving the car. And people have this like idea, this identity with themselves. Like, oh, I'm a car driver. I'm a whatever. I drive cars real good. And all of a sudden, autonomous vehicles come along, autonomous cars come along, and it's like, oh, maybe we don't need drivers anymore. Maybe autonomous cars eventually drive better than human drivers. What then? Like, what do we do with all the drivers and the people who have big feels about, oh, humans drive better than whatever autonomous vehicles? It's like, well, when I have this issue where I don't know how to coach the juniors at work, whether I can allow them to let go and give in to the vibes. I think that's just the future, and I don't really have any juniors well, I guess I do have juniors at work. But I would say this is kind of, well, okay. let me, you don't write code anymore. Yeah, I don't write code anymore, right? Like I don't have a, whatever. I tell Claude what to do, right? And it goes and does it. So we're now kind of like at this weird abstraction layer where we have to know what good code looks like, but at the same time, like, let another thing write the code, and we're kind of like checking its work. So yeah, how do we train junior developers to do this without them writing good code themselves, potentially? And I would argue it's like, we don't need to. So I liken it to like drilling in jiu-jitsu. There's this idea of a perfect technique. Oh, if you put your hand here and you put your hand on this other side and you turn your body exactly this way, you'll do the technique exactly perfectly. It's like, and you do it 100,000 of times, and you, whatever, muscle memory, this thing. It's like, it doesn't actually work like that. You need a dynamic partner to like kind of give you, to actually figure out how to apply this technique in real life, right? So juniors, I liken static drilling to manually typing lines of code. If we're not going to manually type lines of code anymore, if that's not like the standard, like, we just need to get more practice at the standard of how work is done. And juniors may need to just kind of understand how their inputs relate to the outputs of the agents. They have to, it's not just turn your brain off and just let the agents code up whatever they want. It's like, no, we need to constrain. We need to kind of, we start with a vanilla agent. A vanilla agent can go anywhere in search space, right? In problem solving search space, right? So we're trying to constrain this wide open plane of what the agent can do. We're trying to constrain it to a very specific set of conditions and kind of like push it along a track. And kind of like, I liken it to like a go-kart track where it's like a soft kind of, it's a feel. It's like we're we're adding guardrails to kind of like make it move along in a certain direction. And I think that coding at that level, that's the skill to develop. We don't need to manually code anymore. So I think coaching juniors on what that looks like, that's the skill now, is what are the best practices? Teach them about TDD, teach them about tracer bullets, teach them about like design patterns, things that kind of what we're operating on now. That's kind of the layer that we're at. But also like teach them all, like I'm DevOps, so like I view things from a DevOps lens. Teach them about like CI/CD, how that's important, how tests are important, how like don't whatever hard code things, don't like set things as constants, like all these kind of things that you correct for in junior. So like, I don't know, say a year ago, whatever things you would correct a junior for in a PR, like correct their agent or now, right? Like they still need that feedback, but now they need to see it in the agent output form. Does that make sense? Tane? I don't know. I'm just a guy. I just have opinions. I'm not an expert at this. Nobody's really an expert at this yet, but I feel like whatever we are whatever the thing that is the standard tool that we use, yeah, maybe makes sense, right? Yeah. I think the knowledge of we need to spend a lot more time vibe coding, like, and then whatever outputs. Ultimately, the outputs are all still PRs. Like the outputs are still all like you'll have to review them, like, and they'll have to review them. So if a PR is too big, tell them to break it up into smaller PRs, and they can easily have their agent do that as well. So I feel like the boundaries haven't changed. Like we haven't, like the how the code is generated, that's changed. But the problems to be solved, those haven't changed, right? Who, what, when, where, why. The JIRA definitions, the issue tracking definitions, those haven't changed. If anything, they've gotten better with agents being able to help you kind of like build out a spec. It's just the how the work gets done has changed. So yeah, the code review is still the same as it always was. Yeah, how you give those lessons, how you show the junior developers, hey, this is how you do it. They still have to read it, or they have their agent read it, right? Over time, they should be getting better at whatever you review their code for, whether it be, I don't know, not necessarily style, but like security or whatever it is. They're like, oh, hey, they're not keeping things dry, say. These are things they'll add to their like repertoire, right? That like junior devs will keep like the feedback that you give them on their PRs and code reviews is what they'll add to their prompts, I guess. Like instead of them internalizing that as, all right, I'm gonna shove that down into like what I code next, they're gonna add that to their agent prompts of like keep things dry, keep whatever, make things secure, whatever that means, right? don't don't include secrets in the repo. Like different thing, whatever lessons you need to teach junior developers, all that still kind of whatever applies at the PR level now still. MTO Mav, am I a teacher? I guess you can say that. I don't know. I'm not like professionally a teacher. I'm a senior developer professionally, but I'm a jiu-jitsu instructor. I guess you can say I'm a teacher. For the interns, they're not allowed to use Claude from school. Interesting. Oh, they're not allowed to use Claude in their school, like for their homework assignments. I mean, I wonder how that works, right? Like, how does that even? How do you even turn something in? Like, it's like plagiarism, right? Or like, how do you even check, right? Yeah, this is a weird time to be a student. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the tools of the trade. You should be learning the tools of the trade in school. Like colleges, you still know how to code manually. That's a weird thing. I'm actually going back to my college at the end of the month, Cal Poly, and doing a guest lecture on this. And I still don't know what I'm going to talk about. Like, I have a sense of, like, because it changes every week. It feels like things are changing every week. I got the offer to guest lecture in December, and a month later, I think what I'm going to talk about has changed, like, multiple times in my head. So, I don't know. It's going to be weird. But, I think maybe, just maybe, like there's something to, okay, so if we're going to do a car driving analogy, I don't know, I drove a stick shift. I drove manual for, like, I grew up, like I drove a regular automatic car, and then I also drove a manual car. And I enjoyed driving the manual car. I drove it until, like, it died, basically, till the clutch went out, and fixing the clutch was more than the car was worth, right? So, and right, yeah, talk about jiu-jitsu to the college class, yeah. So. Do I know how to drive a car better because I know how to drive it manually versus using an automatic? Maybe. Like, I kind of sort of know what's going on a little bit more. Like, that was exposed to me. And I thought more about how I was driving and how I can manually shift up and down and accelerate more, stay in second gear a little bit longer to, like, get more acceleration to speed up on the freeway or whatever. Like, yeah, that was fun. Like, I enjoyed that. But at the same time, enjoyment isn't necessarily efficiency, right? Like, I think that's where people are getting caught up here, is that software developers enjoy manually writing code, just like I enjoyed manually driving my stick shift. But is that the most efficient or effective way? Is that the most, like, gas efficient way? No. Like me hanging in second gear and redlining it is definitely not the more efficient way. But, like, it was more fun, and I could, like, whatever, zoom on the freeway a little bit more and, like, go up to third gear and whatever. Like, it was a more enjoyable experience, but it certainly isn't the most efficient way to drive in terms of cognitive overhead, right? Like, I had to think more. I couldn't like zone out or whatever and think about something else. So, but I was only driving one car versus with Gas Town and all these agent orchestrators, you can drive multiple cars. You can drive tens to dozens of cars at the same time, right? So yeah, it's just because you enjoy it doesn't necessarily mean it's important. Like jiu-jitsu, I enjoy the hell out of it, but it's not important. Like it's not as important, like economically speaking. Like I don't really make any money in jiu-jitsu. Like I get paid for the class and like it covers my tuition or whatever, right? Like it doesn't, whatever. Like it's not a as economically important thing as software development, right? Like it's not as valued as highly, right? So yeah, how would I talk about jiu-jitsu is like how I teach my class. Like I can teach one-on-one. I can get super detailed and be like, oh, put your hand here, put your hand there. And like, I do jump in sometimes of like, hey, here's exactly how you need to do this thing, right? But the general class-wide instructions, the scalable instructions to everyone, I set up goals. I set up like mini games for people to try to win. Like top player has to do whatever, pass, has to get around the legs. Bottom player has to get top player's hands or their butt to the mat. And that's the game, right? We're not going to a submission. We're like very focused on this particular battle. And yeah, like that scales a lot better than having to hammer every little detail about what needs to be working for a technique across, I get 15 to 20 students on average every Tuesday, Thursday morning. So I'm like, and that's like, 7 to 10 groups of people working with each other, right? So I can't monitor everybody at the same time, right? I have to let go, have to like set the instructions, come up with pretty good like boundary conditions for like, hey, this is what we're working on. And those invariants, that's kind of what I'm getting to now, is like I have certain invariants that I want to address, certain principles, certain best practices, certain, concepts that I want to get across to my students, and I have to design games around that in mind, right? I want to get top players' hands on the mat. Like if top players' hands are on the mat, then bottom player can start moving and getting out from underneath, right? So that's like an example, right? So how do we get these across, these same invariant principles, to junior developers, right? And how do we get across to these junior developers such that they can wield these agents in the most effective way possible? Maybe you know how things work underneath to some degree, right? But then at some point you have to like scale up and train up on the latest how things are done in industry. Like, yeah, sure, like you need to learn how to allocate memory. You have to write in C and some assembly for a little bit. Like I did that. I did that at Cal Poly computer engineering. Half of my degree was electrical engineering, half of it was software, computer science. And I learned, all right, this is what assembly is like, and what how you run assembly on a microcontroller, and or on a how you write VHDL to define hardware on a micro, what is it? Not microcontroller, VHDL. For FPGAs, right? Synthesized digital electronic systems. Concurrent representing physical hardware such as logic gates. Yeah, so like short feedback loops, get it, merge request, merge, iterate quickly, learn from mistakes, stand still to improve. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just need to kind of, you need to learn some fundamentals, sure, by manually driving the car, right? By manually coding. But at some point, yeah, we need to like build people up, build the juniors or the college kids or whoever up to using the latest tools. And yeah, like kind of work with them and say, all right, these are the mini games that we need to play. All right, you're going to solve this ticket, and yeah, ask your agent to solve this ticket, and we'll give you feedback on the PR, and that feedback on the PR are now prompts that you can give to your agent for the next ticket, right? Like we want to keep things dry. We want to not commit secrets to the code base. We want to minimize dependencies or whatever. Like whatever feedback that you're going to give, that is now, yes, maybe not necessarily even internalized to the junior developer, but like at least it's internalized to their prompting system, right? But yeah, learn from mistakes. Yeah, like that's all this is. That's all. Whatever. My kind of thesis is fuck around and find out. Like that's all this learning is you have to. There's step 1, fuck around. Step 2, find out. I'm not sure if it's worth something, but you can find overlap. This is all about mastering something, be it software engineering or Eastern philosophy. Yeah. Yeah, it's all, yeah. Once the AI can do 30-minute tasks, there's time to read or write books or blog posts. Yeah. Yeah, it's all learning. It's all like I don't know. That's how this all works overall. It's just we need to do the thing. We need to engage with the thing, and whatever layers of the stack, yeah, we have to know generally how it works. But we don't need to be masters of any, unless we're pushing like the edge of, I don't know, GPUs. All right, yeah, maybe you need to know something about NVIDIA low-level, whatever, instruction set or whatever, right? Like, you probably, whatever, you probably can't vibe code that, right? But, like, for the vast majority of software work, yeah, you can, the models are well-trained on all the stuff that drives the internet. We don't need to, like, reinvent the wheel anymore. So, but yeah, like that's what I'm doing right now. Like I'm not running anything right now, but like I feel like coding is essentially solved, and we just need to like, you can build anything. Let's just have that. No, that's cool. Thank you, Tate. No, I mean, it's what I'm here for is to like engage, right? To like you help me think through some things there. I think that's what's valuable about doing this, like doing live streaming and like writing, is that I get to kind of work out the ideas talking, and then people engage and go back and forth or whatever, and then I can like whatever like crystallize it down into into the newsletter. So anyways, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the restroom really quick, watch Goosey for me. Cool. All right, thanks, Tane. Appreciate it. All right, I've got probably about 10 more minutes that I got to run. Thanks all for being here. Hit the like button. Let's see. We've got 17 votes. Have you used Gas Town? 24% have. 76% haven't, which is interesting. Hit the like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you are interested in we have a Discord community. People chat about more of the stuff. You subscribe. Thank you, MTO. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Discord community, just kind of an offline way for us to chat about this stuff. Just costs you an email. You get my newsletter. I think that's a win-win scenario there. second. Okay. All right. So I'm getting to knowledge about constraints. I got that. Variance. Okay. Cool. Okay. Anyways, I gotta run. Like and subscribe. Really appreciate everyone hanging out and watching Goosey just being a good boy up there. I hope, yeah, maybe I can be like a real life lo-fi girl or whatever, right? Channel. I think yeah, the vibe is immaculate here. The cat relaxing up top. I'm working. We're just chatting. So anyways, cool. Thanks all for being here. Appreciate it. Hit the Discord, and I will catch you guys later.